Good morning. It is day 63 on our AT Virginia Lash. It's about 10:30. We didn't leave camp until, I don't know, about a quarter till 10. We left camp, we walked down, got some water. We don't have that water source right there. We stopped and got more water. We're about a mile from camp. We have a 7-mile water carry today. So we're trying to camel up the best we can. I just drank about 42 ounces of water in the last hour, and I'm so waterlogged. I don't know how people can drink 2 or 3 liters at a time. So one guy said, well, I won't be dehydrated, but I might be thirsty. And that's probably what we'll have today. We got, I'm carrying 32 ounces in the water bladder. Reptile has 2.5 liters, and we should be fine. Depends on how hot it gets. It was beautiful blue skies this morning, and now it's clouded up. When we were walking through the little gas station area with the Burrito Loco and I-81 interchange, we got into Paint Splash, which was a shuttle driver we had going into Marion, and she said there was like about a 30% chance of rain today. So hopefully it just stays a little cloudy, it doesn't really rain. We had a decent night last night at camp. Actually got in bed about a little after 7:30. I read my book until about 9 and went to bed. Stealth camp, there was no privy this morning, but made it work. No big deal. And we are now headed 7.8 miles to the next shelter. And our feet, Achilles, ankles from Eldon falling yesterday, are just still kind of sore. This is the first real elevation gains that we've had since we've been back on trail. We had over 2,000 feet elevation today, and like 500 of it was just up to that water source. But there were switchbacks, so that was good. But same old. Leaves, dry dead leaves on the ground. Everything's blooming out. Yesterday we didn't see maybe 3 hikers. About four hikers yesterday. And today, and before we even got out of camp, we had like 6 people pass us. Are you cleaning out the riverbed?
I mean, I do stuff.
Alright, anywho, I don't know. I guess we're taking a break to clean out the flow from these rocks up here. Been seeing a lot of stuff on Far Out about Noro getting into Virginia since the bubble's out of the Smokies, and trying to make sure that, step over this creek real fast, trying to make sure that we're washing our hands with soap, because Germ-X does not kill the norovirus, and unfortunately our cellular filter also does not kill the norovirus. So we're trying to make sure that we're getting water from a good running source. So sorry. You can't see what I just did, but I had a spider web on my hat with a spider in it dangling in front of my eyeballs. I swear. But yeah, Germ-X doesn't kill noro, neither does our water filter. So there's been people on Far Out that are saying, boil your water as well as filter it, or use a second purity method, like the chemical drops, which we do have the chemical tablets. But noro can be also transferred from animals, not just from human to human. But definitely try to make sure that we wash our hands a couple times a day with soap and water, and then use Germ-X throughout the day. I always try to make sure that we wash our hands, especially after using the bathroom and when I take my contacts out or put them back in. All right. I know you can't tell this is uphill, but it is. That's downhill. If I would sit this on the ground, you could see that we're walking uphill and downhill. We're still trying to figure out how to invent elevision, so you can see the elevation, gain and descents. But we got a lot of gain going on today. Alright, that's what we've got. I'll take pictures of the pretty stuff and any really cool hikers that we've seen. A lot of these are bloomed out. A lot of the rhododendrons bloomed out. And yesterday I saw a red leaf kind of plant that was bloomed that I had not seen before. So I took a picture of that. But Virginia has been pretty decent. We met a couple yesterday that were doing 20 miles because they have to get off trail next week to go to a wedding. And they're also trying to go to Trail Days in Damascus, which is this coming weekend. So that's in like 2 days. I believe it starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And been hearing a lot of hikers talk about it. You know, as we pass people like, oh, you going to the Trail Days? No, I'm not going to the Trail Days. But if I knew that they were going to have a bunch of discounted merchandise, it might be worth the effort. But I cannot imagine being at Trail Days with hundreds of hikers in Tent City. Ooh, I don't know. I would love to go to Trail Days as a onlooker, not as a hiker. Someone that had a car that I could stay in a hotel, you know, an hour away from Damascus, and then, you know, drive in and drive out. But living in Tent City with a couple hundred other hikers for 3 days is not my cup of tea. And if Nora's going around that bad, I can't imagine how that's going to be. Alright, so we are just chugging along, singing our song, and same old terrain basically, rocky, rooty, dried leaves, lots of spider webs, and lots of stuff blooming out because it is spring. Spring has sprung. I'll talk to you down trail. So we've come upon our first hike over barbed wire fence with the kind of ladder teepee style. You wanna, I love how it says a quarter on the top. I don't know why that's extra to the top of it. It so looks like Plinko, doesn't it?
I mean, they landed perfectly. You couldn't do it again if you tried.
Too bad I didn't win $25,000.
You need a hand.
Nope. I'm good.
Well, don't step on your trekking poles.
But looking down, it made it look like it was so much further away. So I just came like that. Big balls. Yay. And so that was our first ladder crossover. We've had the corrals and the gates, but we hadn't had to actually climb over a ladder yet. I saw one, it just wasn't on the trail. So I think we have about 3-ish, maybe 3.5 miles to the shelter. And, sorry, bugs landed on me. I have drank so much water today that I had to stop and pee 3 times. in just the few hours we've been on trail. And
3.6 to the shelter.
3.6 to the shelter. All right, sorry, I had to sneeze. Between going to the bathroom and sneezing, my body is just full of fluid, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of taking it easy today. Like I said earlier, my Achilles and my heel and just my feet in general, I'm kind of sore. They usually when I wake up in the morning, they feel a little bit refreshed, but right now they're not. So we are just taking it a little slow. 7.8 is our goal today. And in that 7.8, we're going to hit the 325 mile marker. Woohoo! So I think we have about 2 more miles before we hit the 325, but yay! 325 miles on the AT. And it's been I have a downed log. A downed log to climb over. 1 second. Okay. There's some switchbacks going down, and I think some switchbacks going up. We have another cow pasture crossing and another road to cross before we get to the shelter. And the rain is supposed to start around 3 to 5-ish. And it's about 12:30, I think. So we should be fine on time. So a couple things that I was thinking about what is different from us being back on trail after we visited home is our packs are slightly packed differently. I don't have any sleep clothes. I left all my sleep clothes at home. We got to a point in Georgia, I would change out of my hiking clothes and put on my night clothes, which is like a base layer to keep us warm. But when we got into North Carolina, we started staying in shelters a little more, and the privies were too small. You couldn't change in a privy, and I'm not going to change in the shelter with a bunch of other people. So I didn't bring my sleep clothes back out. So I have a pair of hiking shorts, a pair of hiking pants, a pair, 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of undies, and then my long sleeve sun hoodie that I'm wearing, and my short sleeve moisture wicking athletic t-shirt. That's all I have. So my clothes pack is a lot smaller. I still have a puffy for my warm layer, which I've had to use because it has been a little chilly. I'm carrying the Zoleo, the GPS location emergency device. That is, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's a little bit, probably half a pound. I'm carrying the trash bag this time, because Elton was carrying the trash bag last time. What else? That's kind of it. Just kind of meshed up a couple things. I was able to get my ditty bag, my health and beauty bag as I call it, down to 1. I had a special Ziploc bag for my contacts, but it's all together now. So that my pack feels really small, and as you can tell, it's not even like hardly above my shoulders. Oh, look, another leaf. So, this little leaf here, I was eating a granola bar a few minutes ago before I started recording, and I bit into it, and I'm like, what is that? So I spit it out. It was a leaf. The wind had blown a leaf onto my granola bar, and it stuck. So I was eating leaves, which thank God it wasn't a bug, right? Alright, we got switchbacks going down. And then I'm sure we have another climb up. Oh, Reptile, he has new pants. He's got more like summer pants going on that has some ventilation on the legs and in the crotch of them. And they're a little bit thinner. And he didn't bring his sleep pants, but he has his fleece and his puffy still. And I think the only thing that he didn't bring was gloves, but he still has a sock hat. I pretty much got rid of a lot of my warm layers. 1 second. Okay. Whew. Sorry, my hand was killing me. My wrist still hurts from my fall last week. But he still has several of his warm layers, and my warm layer right now is just wearing my pants and my long sleeve and then putting my puffy on, which is fine, but it got down well into the 30s the other night, and it was pretty cold. And tonight it's supposed to be right at 40. Last night the tent thermometer said that it was about 52, so that wasn't too bad. But I did get a little chilly, so my sleep quilt keeps sliding down as I toss and turn, and I have to pull it back up. We resupplied on our food. We got a resupply box in Marion, and we also added a bunch of snacks. So we've been eating, I had Pop-Tarts this morning, I've had granola bar, I've had beef jerky, or Slim Jim. Eating snacks throughout the day is a lot more appealing than trying to get a meal in when you're walking. And after I discovered yesterday eating Mexican and then trying to hike another 5 miles is not a good idea. I was so full. 1 second. Going down. Alright. I was so full and so bloated and just uncomfortable trying to hike. Like, I kept having to pull my fanny pack up and my hip belt because it just was pushing against my stomach. So, yes. Mexican food or that big of a meal is something at the end of the day when I'm not hiking. The house over there. Okay. We're going to finish climbing down this hill and going over. We had a beautiful cow field pasture walk, and it was all uphill, but it had a beautiful line of the Blue Ridge Mountains that we were climbing on yesterday and that we had just walked out of. And I still can't believe that we have 3.5 miles to the shelter, because I feel like we have been walking for hours. And I know we have. It's just been slow going because my feet and my Achilles are really achy today. We've had many, many hikers pass us, so I don't know if there'll be any room in the shelter tonight. If not, we'll just have to get the tent wet. Alright, getting back to the rocks and roots. So I will let you all go and talk to you later down trail.